How's it going, Helldivers? And today I really wanted to talk about difficulty and just some of my ideas I've had for basically a while now talking about the subject. Probably not the best time to talk about difficulty, especially with what's going on right now in the community and how we are like the morale is at an all-time low and everyone's talking about balance and medium pen. As well as personally, I do understand that I kind of come from a place of I don't know, I don't really consider myself a god at the game, but I having almost 2,000 hours in the game with also playing the game almost as a job at this point, even though it's a fun job, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but probably always learn the mechanics since I have so much time on my hands, the benefits of being unemployed. But I really wanted to talk about an idea I had for maybe finding a new way to increase difficulty past what everyone else is talking about. I'm not even going to talk about the balance of the game or any of that. That's not what I'm addressing at all. So if you expect me to bring something up like that, if you think what I have, we're not talking about that today. But what I did want to talk about was modifiers, because I think modifiers is a cool concept, but one that Arrowhead has never fully realized or like gone all in with. There's a lot of modifiers that I hate in the game that were in the game, like remember the back in the day, the 3 stratagem modifier for the bots, and currently the most annoying modifier right now in the game for me personally is going to definitely be the atmospheric spore bullshit, where you can just not see anything on the map. I think honestly it'd be super cool if Arrowhead allowed us to add the modifiers onto a mission as kind of like a an XP or even sample, just reward multiplier. So you can go into any mission, any difficulty, and there be no modifiers on it. So you're just playing a basic game, or you can like press square or whatever button on keyboard and mouse and pull up a little menu, and you can just like check mark on a list all the modifiers in the game, and you can just keep adding them. So for example, you can do like a super helldive mission that has all the stratagem call-in ones that are a little too excessive. Some might need a little bit of tuning. I don't know if it's still a thing on the squids where it's still like a 7-minute extract timer, but I mean that's a little redundant. That's a little crazy, but please get rid of the atmospheric spore modifier too while we're at it. But something that would be cool is I think they need to play into the fact of doing these like enemy increased modifiers. Something that would be super cool is like, hey, this planet has a lot more impalers, this planet has a lot more hunters, this planet has a lot more hulks on it, stuff like that. This planet has war striders on it. You can kind of almost pick the seed, and you can maybe mix and match the seed so that you have all the enemies are present on the map, and they're way more abundant or whatever. Probably gonna shit on the engine a little bit, so this is where I'm not gonna be an armchair dev and try to say how you do it or not. I have no idea how they would do it. This is just me spitballing an idea. But basically, you have a checklist of multiple modifiers that you can add onto a mission, and by doing that, you basically get like maybe like every modifier adds another 100 times XP to like super helldive, or whatever the multiplier is, it'll do like an extra one. So like I think it's 300 times on super helldive. So each modifier will add a 100 times one. You can have a modifier for more, let's say for bots, you have like a modifier for extra war striders, extra hulks. You have maybe you can bring back the 1 stratagem, the 3 stratagem modifier, but now it's something that people can opt into. They're not forced into the only 3 stratagem modifier, because that's the part that's probably really annoying. Maybe someone might want to try doing a all run only 3 stratagem kind of deal. Would be cool to see a modifier that says there's increased activity on the planet's surface in the sector that you're operating, which means that your timer for the mission has now shrunk down from the usual 40 minutes you may have to now you only have around 25. That could add a lot of pressure, especially if you have other modifiers that are increasing the enemy spawn rates. Maybe there's a modifier that's called infinite reinforcements, where the second like an automaton adds a bot drop, the bot drop is like lasts way longer. Or you can have almost what they used to have on the old missions with the raise the flag, where the bot drops were just infinite. So like imagine a mission where once you load in, you're already getting bot dropped. Like the bot drops don't stop until you extract. That could be a very intense level mission right there, and it would that would be such a unique way of doing difficulty that's not even something that's forced onto the player. It's something that you can opt into, and maybe even an extra bonus besides obviously currencies and maybe samples. I don't know how samples would really work. I don't know, maybe because there's not that many currency sinks, is definitely increased liberation bonus for planets. So if someone's doing like tier 10 with all modifiers on, or maybe even just 3 modifiers on, they're definitely doing more to the war effort than someone who's just got like maybe no modifiers on. As well as there's one idea that I need them to add personally, because it's something that I hear a lot of people are complaining about. No one's ever said something similar to this, I feel. But a lot of people always complain about how they'll bring in a loadout that is not useful for the situation they go in, and that's because the game is super random. And I think that as you level up in your career as a helldiver and level up your ship, you should mitigate a lot of the randomness out of the game. The game should become very, very predictable as you max out in the game, not because for any other not any other reason, just because you played the game for so long. You should be able to have a grander control of the systems than a cadet does. So I think it'd be really interesting if maybe for the bridge they added like a UAV type level, come up with some flavor text, come up with something, but it basically operates as like a UAV for the mission. What does that mean? Well, basically means that when I hover over the mission, I can see the type of enemies I'm going to be expecting to see. So maybe when I hover over the ICBM mission, I can see that I'm going to be facing against maybe more Hulks than usual. If I go to the civilian evac mission, I'm going to probably see War Striders this seed. So it can basically tell me ahead of time, maybe help me plan better for what I should be bringing. If there's going to be War Striders, sadly, they're probably not going to be adding any weak points to the enemy. So you're probably going to have to still bring some sort of AT to it. So this tells me and my team that, hey, War Striders are going to be here. Instead of me running the dice to see if I need to bring anti-tank, maybe I just have to bring it for this one mission because my Super Destroyer told me that there's going to be War Striders this mission. I think that'd be pretty cool. Something that'd be different. Something that's like not game breaking, maybe, hopefully. I know the engine is like crazy spaghetti code, but hopefully you guys like these ideas. Tell me down below what you guys think. And also thank you for your time and watching the video. Be safe and don't drown.